Hi, Summer. So, something I wanted to talk to you about. Just a thought that I had, wanted to share with you. One of the things I think in life that leaves a person very vulnerable is the importance of what other people think about you. Now, there's a couple ways to look at this. One, you can try to go on one end of the spectrum and say nothing that anybody else thinks matters. But the other end of that spectrum is that it really impacts you intellectually and emotionally what other people think of you. So, I mean, it's unreasonable to think that what other people think doesn't matter at all. It really does matter. It matters what my mother thinks of me. It matters what my father thinks of me. Generally, certain people, it matters what certain people think of you. You can say that it doesn't matter what someone you're not friends with thinks of you, or someone who really doesn't have much relevance to your life or impact on your goals and aspirations, what they think of you. There's good arguments for that. And there is some relief in realizing that those opinions don't really matter. But at some point you have to reconcile the reality of that, how it actually makes you feel when you have a perception, how your perception of other people's thoughts about you makes you feel. It's relevant. It just is. It's just the way human nature is. We're social creatures. Other people's opinion of us actually matters. Reputation matters. Our status in other people's minds matters. And so, one thing that I struggle with is when I go through an experience and certain people misinterpret that experience. So let's say, just for an example, if I had gotten fired from a job, okay? This is actually a really good example. There's certain people that are close to me that I've been able to explain my point of view to about that experience. I've been able to say to certain people, whether it's close friends or family, that I was fired from that job because the boss was an asshole or the business was really disorganized. For whatever reason, at least I've been able to voice my opinion about the experience. And I would do that in an honest way, and I think it's good to do that in an honest way. But there's a lot of relief in being able to explain to the people who matter to you why an experience occurred or why something happened, whether it's success or failure. And you can apply this to any success or failure in your life. It's important to me that the people close to me know how hard I've worked for certain successes, and I want people to understand, people close to me or people that are important to me, I want them to understand why and how I may have failed at something. And when people make a lot of assumptions about why you fail at something, and those assumptions are inaccurate, whether it's in a way that makes you look bad or look good, I think that causes some disturbance in you emotionally. It's just the way, that's very commonly true. It bothers you when people think that you're a fuck-up. Okay, that's one way to put it. Not to suggest that many people think that about me, but I'm just saying there are certain experiences that I've had that people close to me have attributed to weaknesses in me or a lack of knowledge and understanding on my part regarding whatever that experience was or what led up to that. And it hurts. It hurts when people I care about make assumptions that are incorrect about the circumstances surrounding my success and failure. And it's a good idea to learn how to deal with that in life. I think the best way to deal with that, or one of the best ways to deal with that, is to have good communication with the people who matter to you, the friends and family who really matter to you, to be able to talk to them on a regular basis about the things in your life that are important, about the experiences in your life that really define who you are. And if there's a lack of communication and therefore a lack of understanding about those circumstances, it's going to disturb you. So I think a good solution to this problem is to have good communication with the people you care about. Now, you're going to hear that a lot. It's almost cliche to say that. So I hope that the way I portray this here is simple and direct and honest. I hope it actually has some salience and makes sense and doesn't just come across as the typical cliche, because everyone always says communication, relationships, to the point where it's nauseating, and it is a cliche. But in this way that I'm describing it, it really matters. And some of the deepest pain in my life and some of the greatest joy in my life stems from this exact issue. I want the people close to me to understand the reasons for my success. I want the people close to me to understand the reasons for my failure, at least from my point of view. And that